We are right at the end, day 39 of 40 days of stewardship. And we've been using these last few episodes to talk about how we pass along the idea of stewardship to our children. We don't want this just to be a personal decision, but a generational principle. And I once knew a young man who had an incredible business sense about him. He had his pilot's license. He liked to fly planes on the weekend. This guy had actually invented some sort of mobile chicken coop to make it easier for people to raise free-range chickens and to claim that they had free-range eggs. He actually started his own business, and he was selling free-range eggs to high-end restaurants down in Atlanta. And I'll never forget one day he pulled me aside and he said, "Man, I want to show you something." And he took me outside into a parking lot and showed me a brand new Honda Accord that he had bought with cash. He had negotiated the deal. His business was really successful. He was doing really well. And man, I want to tell you, he was an amazing steward. He was creative. He was resourceful. He was a great negotiator, and he was a senior in high school. That's what blew my mind about this guy. At the time, I was 38 years old, and I was thinking, man, I want to be like Greg. I mean, he was an amazing young man. And, you know, sometimes I think we sell our kids short. We just expect them to be kids. But it's like someone I heard at a recent men's conference I attended. I think he said it best. He said, "We're not raising kids, we're raising adults." And he's right. We really should be raising our children to be responsible adults. And obviously that means responsible stewards. One of my favorite stories out of the Bible is about a young man named Josiah. And I want to read this to you. It says, this is 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verses 1 through 3. Now, do the math in your head as I read through this. It says, Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and he walked in the ways of David his father. And he did not turn aside to the right or to the left. For in the 8th year of his reign, now you calculating this out? In the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet a boy, he began to seek the God of David his father. And in the 12th year, calculate again, he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem of the high places, the Asherim and the carved and metal images. Now, let's put this in perspective. If you weren't doing the math quite right, think about this. So when Josiah was in the 2nd grade, he became the king. I don't know what you were doing in the 2nd grade, but I wasn't into politics, right? So he's 8 years old when he becomes the king. And there's another part of his life. He kind of was paired with some great mentors who really taught him the wisdom of life and how to know the Lord. Now, let's move on. It says 8 years into his reign, which would put him at 16 years old. He began to seek the God of his father's David, which means he really devoted himself to developing his relationship with God at 16. And think about this. Then it says in the 12th year of his reign. How old is he then? 20. College years, right? We're thinking about our kids, going to college and just going wild and having fun and doing all those things that college kids do. Man, this guy was leading a nation, and he led them to reform. And I think this is kind of where we miss it sometimes in this idea of not raising children, but raising adults, is that we don't want to exasperate our children. We don't want to put undue expectations on them, but we do need to have some expectations for them. We need to be raising the bar along the way. My oldest daughter, Morgan, she started a grocery delivery business when she was a junior in high school. This was before Walmart ever tried it. This was before Uber Eats. She came up with this idea. She wanted to earn some money. Man, we supported her in it, kind of gave her some guidance and asked some other people to come alongside of her and teach them how they do business. And she did that for about a year. And then she did some other things that she just became very industrious with her time. Both of my girls have worked hard to work their way through college. And I've got, like I said, my oldest daughter, Morgan, she's already married and out on her own. She got one more semester left of college. Kylie is in her last semester of high school, but she's been working hard for scholarships and she's putting things together now. And hey, if everything goes according to plan at this point, both of them will have graduated college debt-free. Kylie is on her way. Some things even came in yesterday to show us how that is coming together. Man, I'm so proud of my girls. We never kind of thought, hey, yeah, we'll pay for college. Man, we always kind of put that on them of, hey, we'll help you along the way, but at some point you have to take responsibility for this. And they both took ownership of that. We raised that bar for them, man, and they have met the challenge and taken responsibility for their education. So if we want our kids to be good stewards, they need to be participants. Both of my girls, we've paid cash. They contributed. We have saved, done different things, paid cash for their cars. But you know what? They were both sitting there when we negotiated the deals. Both of them talked to the salesman. Both of them said, hey, this is my bottom line. Both of them, we looked at them and said, hey, if you walk out of here and you want to, you can get another car, but you're going to pay for it, right? So you're going to make the payments. But both of our girls at that moment saw the value of not just having a car put in the driveway and putting a great bow on it. That's really cool. I mean, that's awesome. But both of our girls negotiated the deal. Both of our girls worked for their car. Both of our girls talked to the salesman. Both of our girls wrote the check, right? So we taught them how to do that by making them participants in the process. And I'll tell you this, you can put a bow on it later. It's still really cool. But as parents, we need to kind of help our children, not just giving them great things, but helping them to participate in the process. So what's today's action step? Help your child to participate in the business, whether it is your business or maybe it's a friend that you can kind of, hey, will you help my child along? Maybe let them work for you, mentor them along or whatever. Challenge them, even at a young age. Maybe it's a yard sale. Hey, what is it you don't use anymore? Let's put it out there. Let them sit out there and buy and sell their stuff at the end of the driveway. That's even a part of the process. I've known other people, they have helped their kids to make some cookies or some small things and do some deliveries, maybe at the holidays, just a little event to help them learn how to. We go to the store, we buy it, we make it, we bake it, we price it, we sell it, right? All those things help your children understand how real stewardship works. Then I would also challenge you with this. Whenever you make a major purchase, maybe it's yours or maybe it's something that they're going to buy out of that earning that they've had, allow them to negotiate the deal. You be there as the parent to make sure that the deal is right. You don't just send them off to the wolves, right? But we want to shepherd them along and help them to experience those things so that they develop those skills. Because remember this, we're not raising kids. We're raising responsible adults. And I would take it a step further. We're raising stewards who are faithful to their God.